Hi everyone, my name is Shane Brady, Director here at McLarty McShane Southeast, and welcome to our educational vlog series. This series will cover off a range of different topics and help simplify some of the complex matters that we find here in insurance. We hope that it really helps educate our clients on some of their policies, how they work, and what to look out for. Today we're focusing on the CCC right back, or the Care, Custody and Control right back. So we'll cover off what it is, what structure a public and products liability policy has, how CCC is excluded in the policy then written back in for particular things, and what it provides cover for. So first and foremost, we'll focus on what it is. So we know it in the industry as a right back, but if you read the policy, it's an additional benefit. We know it as a right back because it gives back cover that is otherwise excluded under the policy. So to understand that a little further, let me just explain the structure of a public and products liability policy first. So first and foremost, it has insuring clauses, so what the policy provides cover for. And to keep it really simple, a public and products liability policy provides cover for third-party injury or third-party property damage. You need one of those two things for your public and products liability policy to respond. Forget advertising liability, I'll cover that off in another video, but to keep it really simple, those are the two things that you need, one or the other, to trigger your public and products liability policy. So if you have a situation, if you've injured somebody or you've damaged something that doesn't belong to you, chances are it will be your public and products liability policy that you hope will respond. The structure policy also has a range of exclusions. So what the policy doesn't cover. It'll have a range of definitions, so clarity on some of the words and terminology that the policy uses. It will also have a range of general conditions and some claims conditions as well. So those 5 sections of a policy make up the framework of a public and products liability policy. So when I mention it's excluded then written back, I mean it is excluded absolutely. So if you read a public and products liability policy, you will read that it says, we do not cover liability for property in your physical or legal control. So this is what we call an absolute exclusion. There's no ambiguity, there's no grey area, it's just absolutely excluded. No wiggle room, totally excluded. However, if you keep reading, it's then re-included for a range of different things. Okay, so notice here it says exclusion 17. It specifically references exclusion 17, which is the exclusion I just showed you. So to get technical for just 1 minute, the re-inclusion of this cover doesn't override the overarching exclusions that are also in the policy. So things like faulty workmanship, contractual liability, all the other exclusions that a public and products liability policy has remain in place. However, it writes back cover for these 5 things. So what does it cover, liability cover for? Okay, so first and foremost, it's really important to note this is strictly liability cover only. It's not at call cover. You can't rely on it and offer it to third parties. It's to be thought of as a safety net or a last resort. It provides strict liability cover for you as the insured under the policy. It doesn't insure the third parties that have property in your physical or legal control. It's your cover and protects you only. So if you think about it that way, it will be a lot easier to understand how the CCC cover works. So first and foremost, clause number 1, it provides liability cover for premises that you rent or you lease. Okay, so the factory that you occupy, the office that you occupy to run your business from. It also provides liability cover for premises that you temporarily occupy. So if you're a cleaner and you're going to all different buildings, those buildings might be considered to be in your legal control, and you will get the full limit of the policy for those premises. Also goods in your care, custody and control for being worked on. So if you're a dry cleaner, you have other people's clothing in your care, custody and control, which would be probably considered property in your physical or legal control. Vehicles in your car park, but the caveat there is you can't be operating as a proper commercial car park. personal property for employees and your visitors, and anything else that's not mentioned in those 4 clauses. However, it's sublimited to a particular amount. So in this case, it's 250. Industry standard, what you should be looking for is a limit of 500,000. That's industry standard. If you've got a steadfast public and products liability policy, you should have that $500,000 limit. So anything less is probably not quite up to market standard. 500 is industry standard, but you can also go higher if you need it, depending on your industry. So this is a really complex cover, and it really needs a lot of in-depth discussion depending on your types of business. So it can get a lot more technical. If you're a mechanic with vehicles in your care, custody and control, there's other things to consider, like driving risk and a range of other things. But also the limits and the other exclusions really need to be considered. So if you do want to talk about the CCC cover, what it provides, we really need to chat to you about the types of business that you have, what you do, how you do it, your contractual obligations, a whole range of different things. But this is just a summary to let you know what the CCC cover intends to provide cover for. And we'd love to hear from you. Our website, www.mmse.com.au. Give us a call. We'd love to have a chat to you and discuss it in further detail for you. Thanks for visiting and listening to us. We'll get back to you next week with another video, but hope you found this really helpful and insightful. And if you like it, let us know. Thank you.